My name is Kelly Smith, and April 20th, 2016, my hubby came home from work, and we were, it was about 11 p.m. He was a nurse practitioner, and we were laughing and joking, and he was just telling me about his day. And then I went on off to bed, and he stayed up a little bit longer. Then about 1 a.m., I woke up with this overwhelming dread. I looked over, and Doug wasn't there, and so I went throughout the house, and I couldn't find him. Then I went to my bathroom, and I tried to push open the door, and he had just simply toppled over. The Lord, unexpectedly to me, but not to him, took him home that day. And after the EMT announced his death, the first thing that I thought of is, how am I gonna raise 4 kiddos without Daddy-O? The night before he died, that we read the last chapter of the book of Job. And I remember afterwards, he asked my kiddos, he was like, so guys, do you think that you could be a Job and go through so much tragedy and not curse God? And they were like, yeah, we can do it. And he was like, you know, if I lost Mommy, if I lost the 4 of you, I can't guarantee that I wouldn't curse God. And he says, so you know what? I'm gonna pray that we can be half the person, just half the person of Job, and God will be pleased. And so he prayed that over us, and the next night, the Lord took him home. These past 9 years have been wonderful years with lots and lots of challenges. And for about a year, I was angry with God, and I took a step back. And then about 11 months ago, I had someone introduce me to Trace, and I knew immediately as I walked through the front doors, and met just people were so friendly, which just makes such a difference. Then I listened to the worship, and I listened to the message. I just thought, okay, it's time for me to come back home. And so I made Trace my church home. And ever since, the Lord has been teaching me that when he makes a promise to us, that it is a guarantee. And when we embrace his promises, we must do so with unwavering faith, even when life seems uncertain to us. Because you see, the beauty of God's promises is that they are not rooted in how much knowledge I have, my understanding, or my perfection. God's promises are rooted in his character. My Douglas would be proud. He would be so proud of his 4 kids. All 4 of them are doing well in this life. 3 of them love Jesus, and 1 of them will. It's a guarantee. I'm starting to discover who I am just by myself, because you see, I've learned that, as David said in 2 Samuel 12:23, just right after he lost his son, and the servants were petrified to tell him that his son has died, but he recognized once he did, he just went on with life. He started doing life. He told them, he said, now that he's dead, why should I fast? Shall I bring him back again? I shall go to him, but he shall not return to me. You see, it's just a dash between 2 numbers before I get to see my Douglas again. So it's important for me to live my life to the fullest, and to recognize that we only have a short amount of time on this side to be influential to those who are in our sphere. We only have one wild and crazy life. We must live it in a way that first and foremost makes our daddy proud, but also in a way that makes us proud. We can't control the circumstances that occur in our lives. Believe me, I have tried. But we can control the way in which we respond to them.